What's going on, YouTube? It's Donnie B all day. In my last video, I brought you this special laying around with the 4-inch barrel, and I turned it into this, right? I made myself a beautiful little snub nose, gorgeous, right? So now I think it's time to do these scales. Now I have a bunch of knife videos to get done too, but the weather just hasn't been cooperating. Oh, speaking of cooperating, I don't want any of the ambulance people to pull up. It is empty. It is unarmed. But the weather hasn't been cooperating, so I've been inside just, and that's why I'm getting to all this kind of projecty stuff that I haven't gotten to yet. So today, I think what I'm going to do is redo these. Now, when I first had these, I thought it was fake wood. I thought it was some kind of laminate. And I was like, I hate these grips. I just didn't like that plasticky looking fake wood look to it. Then I took them apart and realized, oh snap, this is these are real. So let me pop this back off of there. You know, luckily I came prepared. All right, here we go. Here we go. Sometimes the hardest thing is just popping it off. So I noticed that these are wood, and I said, wood is good. So this is what I'm looking at for the frame inside. And I said, ooh, baby, I'm wondering if I should take this down to this level here, make it even more pocketable. And then I was thinking about even coming up here and kind of like a knife, making it like a true full tang. So you see this all the way through without the bottom being covered, and have more finger groove area right there. Because right now, you know, the fingers sit in, but I'm thinking make it truly a pocket size, right? By just reducing that much wood, I think that leaves a lot more. You can see that leaves a lot more in the grip space here, and it will fit even better in the pocket. Now, doing that, what I can do is I just pop out these little pins right here, and then I can sand. And I'm thinking of doing this in a black color instead of the brown. But that's what I'm thinking. And I had around here somewhere some sandpaper. It's over there. So I'm thinking, pause, unpause. So I'm thinking if I just take this all off, I'll have to use a heavier grit, but if I take this all off, all this finish, and then just I'm not even on camera, and just redo it, then I think I can make this pretty cool. And I want to take away all this checkering, at least as much as I can, and make this a smooth handle, smooth grip, fast, sweet, smooth in the pocket, no restrictions. So let's take this mini screwdriver right here and see if we can't pop out the pin. And yes, we can. So the pin is out, the little RG. So I'd end up putting that back, but make sure I didn't mess up my little tiny screwdriver. So that's it. So I'm thinking just sand this down, and then sand all this away, and bring it down to the actual frame, right? So I would have an exposed frame all the way around. I think that will be much cooler, right? So let me take out this second pin here. I want to stab myself in the hand, and it's a struggle, and I can feel it coming out. Bam. All right, so there we go. I have 2 grips ready to be sanded. So what I'm going to do is, even though they're small, I'm going to shrink them. I'm going to make them even smaller. And what that's going to do, it's going to give me a nice tighter package. And I'm going to recolor, re-dye. One thing I did, you guys can see on the Ruger, is I threw up a sight. Let's see if we can get it in there. There you go. You can see the green dot right there. Let's see what happens when we turn it. Okay, that's off, and then there's the red dot. So you can make it big and small, or however you want to do it. There's the big green. So I thought that was kind of cool. I just like messing around with this stuff and making things look cool. And this one is a good target piece. Pop, 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 and it's empty. There's nothing in there. This is a good target piece. The 2245 by Ruger. And this one right here is a really good personal protection piece, along with some of the 9mm I have sitting around and all that. So I think this thing needs a grip redo, and that's what I'm gonna do. So hold on. All right, so I think I'm having a baby change of mind here, and not a big thing, but a small thing. I was measuring up as I'm doing this, right? Try to line that up. And you can see how much I've already taken off there. And it takes off a lot while still leaving this protected here. And what I was thinking is, instead of going all the way down, what I'm going to do is leave this, but I'm going to do a finger groove or 2 finger grooves right in here on both sides. And that's going to give me more of a grip on that. And I'll still have this shaved down. And I'm going to shave it down all the way almost to that line, so there's just a thin covering over the butt of that handle. But you can see, let me turn it around here, you can see already the size difference, possibly. You can see how much smaller it is, and then it'll have some grooves in here. I think that's a better idea, so I think that's what I'm going to roll with. All right, looking good. So you can see how thick this is right here, right? On this one, it's shaved way in right there. I took a half round file, made it nice and smooth. So now that grip, I'm going to get my fingers way in there. The pinky well is so much smaller. It's nice and smooth now. It's got a good shape. So now it's going to come down to matching this one to this one. That's the hard part. And then just taking off the rest of the brown and redoing the color. So hold on. Woo! All right, so this is taking a lot more work than I thought, but it's coming out beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Look at that nice finger well in there. Now you can see like the size difference. And the contouring is so much friendlier to the hand. Now, one thing happened on the way to heaven. While I was sanding this with the light grain sandpaper, it chipped away this thin area. So I'm just going to put it on the sander, and I'm going to make this part exposed. Well, that was easy. So now I polished that up a little bit. So now you can see it goes around 3/4. And then there's the finger well right there. So it just needs some touch-up sanding. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. Blow all that dust off. So next I'm just going to do a little more touch-up, and then I'm going to look around to see what I have to color. And I was thinking about staining, but I might just do a black enamel and then rub it in there with a paper towel and see how that looks. But let me get a little bit more sanding done. Okay, so with messy hands, I bring you the new scales. Instead of going black, I went with a two-tone, basically. I did a gray stain, and then I went with this Cocobolo, nice dark wood. And so right now I'm going to let this dry a little bit, and then I'm going to put them on, and we will see how they look. Hold on. All right, so while my scales are drying, I decided I'm going to shave down the hammer a little bit. I don't know if you could see right here. I already tapered it. It's a squared off hammer, and you know, when they're square, they're kind of sharp, right? you get hard, sharp edges. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to taper down the hammer like this and make it slightly rounded. So that way, A, it's easier to come in and out of the pocket. B, there's less things you can jam. Like when you have it in your belt line, that little hammer right there, that digs into your side, and those sharp edges are very uncomfortable. So with a round hammer, no more of that, but I'll still have plenty of meat to set the trigger for single action. So that's what I'm going to do. Hold on. What a freaking difference. All right, so you see that it was a square hammer, and now it is a completely round hammer. Oh my gosh, this is so smooth, and it's perfectly round, right? Right here, there is no catching, there is no sharp points, there's no hard spots, and I have plenty of space to grab onto, but now it's smaller, better. The grips are going to be tighter. I'm actually going to check those right about now. Let me put that down. Let's see, they're right under there. They're still wet, but let's see if we can't. Let's see if we can't rub some of that stain into there and see how they're looking. Let's do that. So all I'm doing is taking a paper towel and rubbing in the stain. Nice color. Nice color. Doing the gray base, I think, did me some justice on that, because they look pretty. I will tell you that. They look pretty. Alright, so obviously it made it a little bit lighter rubbing it in, but you can see that. I left some little scars, and see that line there? That was the line where the grooves were. I wanted kind of that rugged look, and I was sanding, and I went, you know what? I said, I'm starting to like this. So I left that just like that. Let's do this other side here. Oh yeah. And I'll tell you, this is all just anybody can do it type stuff. You got an old revolver sitting around that you never liked. It was kind of ugly. Maybe it was a gift or a hand-me-down, or just something that you got dirt cheap someday. Maybe you picked it up at some gun show and you're like, oh yeah, I could use that. And then later on you thought, I don't know what the hell I bought that for. I'll never use it. It's ugly. Well, just because you have an ugly gun doesn't mean it has to stay an ugly gun. So let's put these on and see how they look. Hold on. I am super pleased. I am super pleased. Now you can see the true difference. This thing is just so nice. Look at this beautiful finger well in here. Look at how nicely contoured it is right here. It fits the hand so well. This is so much shorter now. It goes all the way. I polished that up. Oh my goodness. I even polished the frame a little bit. But you can see just how nice this is. Look at this contouring, just came out absolutely perfect. That is a pretty gun now. It went from ugly gun to pretty gun. And you remember, in the beginning, it looked just like this, laying around with the... And then we did some work on it, and it looked just like this. Not too yet. So, you gotta be kidding me. And now it looks like this. And so the only thing left to do is going to be that front sight, whatever I do. And I was thinking, and somebody confirmed it, I was thinking about doing like a little notch right here, like a little hole with a drill boop or a Dremel, and making like a little tiny hole. And then what I was going to do is get some super adhesive or use some JB Weld and do an airsoft BB, because the airsoft BBs, you can get them in colors, either like the bright green, the bright orange, and that would make a nice bead. So when you're looking through the gutter, I'd have that bead at the end. It's round, it won't get stuck on anything. And if I get some glue that's good for vibration, heavy vibration, that'll be good. Look at that hammer. Look at that hammer. It used to be an awful, gigantic square hammer that dug into the sides, and now this thing is so smooth. So until I do the sights, this is what I'm looking at right here. This is so much nicer coming in man, it fits in the hand like a snubby should. And now you see how much shorter that handle is with the short barrel. You can just see, especially with this beautiful dip in here. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize how much that was going to make a difference of. And the hammer shaved down. My thumb just rides across it. There's no more poking yourself in the side. Wow, this thing is awesome. So that's it. The next thing I do will be sights. But at least until then, you guys get to see one sweet little snubby 38 special. That is nice. That is so nice. Nothing like homemade custom. That's the way to go right there. I think I just doubled the value. Doubled the value. All right. That's it for now. I'm going to go play around, do some other stuff. Big Brody, I have not forgotten about you. That knife is getting out there. Can't do anything about the weather, but we're going to make it happen. So, until then, I'm Donnie P. all day. Until next video.